Yair Rodriguez is fighting Patricio Pitbull in April. Now, who's going to win this fight? Well, if we're talking about who's going to win this fight, let's take a look at their latest performances, in which Yair Rodriguez fought Alexander Volkanovski, in which both started off great until Alexander Volkanovski rocked Yair Rodriguez. Alexander Volkanovski then put a ton of punishment on Yair Rodriguez, and the ref seen enough and stopped the fight in round 3. Now, after this, Yair Rodriguez wanted to fight Brian Ortega for a second time, in which Yair Rodriguez dropped Brian Ortega twice in round 1, but then Brian Ortega brought it back, got Yair Rodriguez an arm triangle choke, and made him tap in round 3. Now let's take a look at Patricio Pitbull's latest performances, in which he fought Chihiro Suzuki, in which Chihiro knocked out Patricio Pitbull in round 1. And after this, Patricio wanted to fight Jeremy Kennedy, in which both started off very slow until Jeremy Kennedy dropped Patricio.
Good jab though from Kennedy. Stumbles Pitbull, and here.
But then Patricio brought it back, put a lot of punishment on Jeremy Kennedy, and the rest did enough and stopped the fight in round 3. Now, before we talk about this fight and who wins, let's talk about what Patricio said in a recent interview, and that's that the UFC first offered him a fight with Aljamain Sterling, but Aljo turned it down, and then the UFC offered him a fight with Yair Rodriguez, but Yair Rodriguez didn't respond, so Patricio texted him privately to try to tease him, and Yair Rodriguez accepted the fight, but when the UFC contacted him, he turned it down and asked for a ranked opponent. And lastly, Patricio said that he was told that Dana White was going to announce the fight with him and Yair Rodriguez, in which Dana White did, so that will force Yair Rodriguez to have no other option but to take the fight, so it's still not confirmed if Yair Rodriguez will show up or he will pull out. But anyways, let's talk about this fight. What the UFC is definitely doing Yair Rodriguez dirty by making him fight a non-ranked fighter, because he gains nothing from this fight. But anyways, if you look at Patricio Pitbull, we'll see that he's making his UFC debut as the Bellator featherweight champion, which honestly means nothing, and he's been inconsistent with his performances. He really hasn't been that dominant. And lastly, he is 5'6", which means that he's going to have a lot of trouble against Yair Rodriguez, who's a taller opponent, so he's going to start off very slow and he's going to struggle to get things going. And I ultimately see Yair Rodriguez putting that pressure on him and not performing him on the feet. And I also believe that Yair Rodriguez would do very good with the grappling as well, as I do believe that he'll be able to out-grapple Patricio Pitbull if the fight does ever get to that. So I got Yair Rodriguez winning this fight by whatever he wants.